Stop everything you're doing right now before YouTube deletes this video. What if I told you that everything you know about death is a lie? What happens after you take your final breath has been hidden from you for centuries. There's an ancient book so powerful, so dangerous, that it's been suppressed by religion, science, and every system built to control you. It doesn't just explain death, it reveals how to master it. But here's the catch. Miss one moment of this, and you risk being trapped in a cycle of fear and rebirth forever. Are you ready to uncover the truth they don't want you to know? Here's the secret they don't want you to know. Death isn't real. Your consciousness doesn't end because it was never bound to your body in the first place. What you call death is just a shift, a change of focus in an infinite field of existence. Imagine for a moment that everything you've ever feared about death, the darkness, the silence, the unknown, isn't real. A grand illusion created to keep you from discovering a truth so powerful it could change the way you see everything. This isn't random. It's been shaped over centuries by systems that thrive on keeping you in the dark. When your body ceases to function, when your heart no longer beats, it's not the conclusion. It's the opening of a new chapter, one so astonishing and beyond the grasp of conventional science, it could transform everything you believe. In that very moment, your consciousness doesn't fade away. It doesn't disappear into oblivion. Instead, it expands into new dimensions, where the experiences and realities are so profound that this life starts to feel like a distant memory. For centuries, monks, mystics, and seekers have talked about this gateway. One book, the Tibetan Book of the Dead, didn't just whisper about it. It mapped it out. This isn't just some ancient spiritual guide. It's a roadmap that reveals the truth. Death isn't the terrifying end we've been taught to fear. It's a transition, a journey into the depths of your consciousness and beyond. And here's what they don't want you to know. Death isn't just something that happens to you. It's something you can prepare for. It's something you can master. The Tibetan masters believed that understanding death was the secret to mastering life itself. They didn't just sit on mountaintops meditating. They pushed their minds to the limits, diving into near-death experiences and returning with knowledge so precise it still amazes scientists today. This isn't just some mystical idea. It's practical, it's powerful, and it's right there, waiting for you, if you're ready to see it. Think about those moments in your life when you felt something bigger than yourself. Maybe time seemed to stop, or you felt deeply connected to something infinite and unexplainable. Those weren't random. Those were glimpses of the same truth the Tibetan masters devoted their lives to exploring. Here's where it gets even more fascinating. The Tibetan Book of the Dead explains that death happens in stages, each more profound than the last. First comes the clear light, a flash of pure, raw reality. For those who are ready, this is the ultimate moment to break free from the cycle of life and death forever. But for most, the light fades, and the journey continues into visions, archetypes, and choices that shape what comes next. Now imagine this, being face to face with your greatest fears and your highest potential, not as ideas, but as living, breathing forms. Some might appear as peaceful deities, representing your untapped power. Others might be terrifying, embodying the shadows you've avoided your entire life. The Tibetan masters didn't see these as symbols. They believed they were real parts of your mind, waiting for you to recognize them. That recognition is the key. Miss it, and you stay trapped in cycles of fear and rebirth. See through it, and you're free. And here's the twist. This isn't just about dying, it's about living. Every time you face a tough decision, let go of something holding you back, or step out of your comfort zone, you're experiencing a kind of mini-death. The Tibetan masters called these moments bardos, transitions that mirror the ultimate journey of death. By mastering these moments, by learning to let go, you can transform not just how you die, but how you live. There's a reason this knowledge has stayed hidden for so long. Imagine a world where people didn't fear death, where they didn't feel trapped by the mystery of what happens next. Fear is the most powerful weapon, and for centuries, it's been used to control people. Governments, religions, and even science have all played a role in keeping this illusion alive. Why? Because people who fear death are easy to control, but people who understand it, they're unstoppable. The Tibetan Book of the Dead isn't just a guide. It's a declaration of freedom from fear itself. It's a manual for your soul, showing you that you are not your body, your possessions, or even your thoughts. You're something much greater, an eternal consciousness that can move through dimensions, shape realities, and rise above all limits. And here's the wildest part. It's not just an idea. It's something you can practice. The moment you die, this ancient book says, you'll face the ultimate truth. A clear light appears, a burst of pure, infinite energy. It's not a light you see with your eyes, but something you feel, something you become. For those who are ready, this moment is freedom. It's your chance to escape the endless cycle of life, death, and rebirth. But if you're not ready, the light fades and the journey goes on. Think about that. Death isn't just something your body goes through. It's a test of awareness. It's the final challenge of your life, built on everything you've learned. And the Tibetan Book of the Dead is the ultimate cheat sheet. But there's a catch. You can't cram for this. The preparation starts now, with the life you're living today. The book also explains the second stage of death, where your mind creates visions, beautiful and scary scenes swirling around you like a dream. But here's the thing, none of it is real. These visions are your thoughts and feelings, blown up and projected for you to see. The peaceful figures, they're your biggest dreams and untapped potential. The scary ones, they're your fears, regrets, and all the things you've ignored. Most people fail here. They think these visions are real threats and try to run from them. But the Tibetan masters teach something different. These visions are your teachers. They're mirrors, showing you who you really are. If you can face them, you win. If you run in fear, the cycle starts all over again. Imagine looking at something that terrifies you and realizing it's just a part of you. What if you could face that fear and make peace with it? What if you could look at what you think is a demon and see your own face? And it doesn't stop there. The journey continues into the third stage, where your choices, actions, and attachments shape what comes next. This is the realm of karma, but not the version you've been taught. Karma isn't some punishment or reward. It's like a program, a system built by your thoughts, decisions, and beliefs. Every choice you've made feeds into this system, deciding the path your soul will take. Here's the most mind-blowing part. This isn't something that just happens to you. You're the designer. You're the one writing the code. The Tibetan Book of the Dead says that rebirth isn't random. It's a choice. The question is, are you aware enough to make that choice? Or will you just go along with old habits and desires? This knowledge is so powerful, it makes you rethink everything you thought you knew about yourself and your life. What if you could start rewriting your karma right now? What if you could use what happens during these stages to change not just your death, but your life? Imagine waking up every day knowing that every thought, every decision, every moment of awareness is a step toward freedom. That's the power of the Tibetan Book of the Dead. It's been waiting for you to find it. Most people won't. They'll keep living in fear, believing the lie that death is the end, that life is random, and that they're powerless. But not you. You're here for a reason. Now the question is, what are you going to do with this knowledge? Let's go deeper. because this isn't just about death. It's about the reality you're living in right now. You've probably felt it before. Those strange moments when the world doesn't feel entirely real, when time slows down. And you catch a glimpse of something bigger, just beyond what you can explain. That's not your imagination. That's your consciousness brushing up against the truth. The Tibetan Book of the Dead teaches that life and death aren't opposites. They're like mirrors, reflecting each other and unfolding within the same infinite consciousness. Death isn't the end. It's a doorway. And here's the part that will blow your mind. You don't have to wait until you die to step through it. The masters believed that by practicing awareness, by facing the little deaths we experience every day, like fear, loss, and change, you can access the same truths that appear after death. But most people miss this. Why? Because they're trapped in the illusions of modern life, distracted by endless noise, and cut off from their own souls. The systems running the world want it this way. They've mastered the art of distraction, making you believe that meaning comes from things outside yourself, like possessions, status, or approval. And as long as you stay focused on those, you'll never look within. But that's where the truth has been hiding all along. Here's the secret. Death isn't something to fear. It's something to understand, something to master. The Tibetan masters taught that people who face death with awareness don't just escape the cycle of life and rebirth. They transform how they experience life itself. Imagine living without fear, without being chained by regrets, and without letting attachments hold you back. Imagine living with the courage and clarity of someone who has already seen what's on the other side. This isn't just an idea, it's something you can practice. The Tibetan Book of the Dead is full of techniques to help you prepare for death by changing how you live. And the best part? These practices aren't just for monks or mystics. They're for anyone willing to go deeper and uncover the truth. Start with this. Each morning, before your day gets busy, take a moment to meditate on impermanence. Close your eyes and imagine everything you cling to. Your fears, attachments, even your sense of identity, melting away like sand slipping through your fingers. This isn't about losing anything. It's about seeing life as it really is, ever-changing, fluid, and connected. The masters believed that this one practice could help you face death's clear light with courage and understanding. And it goes further. Every time you face a tough decision or let go of something that no longer serves you, you're practicing the bardos. When you forgive someone who hurt you or release an attachment to something you thought defined you, you're taking a step closer to freedom. The Tibetan masters called this the ultimate training, living each moment like it's your last, not with fear, but with presence, purpose, and awareness. Here's the question you need to ask yourself. Are you ready to let go of the illusion? Are you ready to see the world not as you've been taught to see it, but as it truly is? Most people won't. They'll hear these words and shrug them off. They'll go back to the distractions, the lies they've been told about who they are and what they're capable of. But you're not most people. You're here, hearing this, because you're ready for something more. If you're willing to take this journey, if you're ready to face the fears and illusions that have kept you stuck, you can unlock a life that is limitless, fearless, and extraordinary. The question is, will you? Here's the truth that changes everything. The Tibetan masters didn't write the Book of the Dead just for people who are dying. They wrote it for you, for the living. For anyone brave enough to dig deeper into the hidden truths about reality, consciousness, and the incredible power locked inside of you. This book isn't just about what happens when you take your last breath. It's about how every breath you take right now shapes your entire experience of life and beyond. Imagine, for a moment, what it would be like to live without fear. No fear of failing, no fear of being judged, and no fear of death, the biggest fear of all. That kind of freedom isn't just a fantasy, it's closer than you think. The Tibetan Book of the Dead shows that fear is nothing more than a shadow. It's a trick your mind plays to keep you stuck in what feels safe and familiar, even if it's holding you back. But what if you could move past that shadow? What if you could step into the unknown, not with fear, but with the confidence of someone who knows they are limitless? That's the power of the bardos. These stages aren't just about dying, they're about transforming. The clear light isn't something you only encounter after death. You can experience it now, in this life, by practicing awareness, meditation, and letting go of the lies that keep you small. Those peaceful and wrathful deities, they're not out there somewhere. They're parts of you, mirrors reflecting your greatest potential and your biggest fears. And karma, it's not a set of cosmic rules. It's the program you're writing for your soul every single day, with every thought, every choice, and every action. But here's why this matters right now. Most people will never get this. They'll hear about it, maybe feel a spark of curiosity, but they'll turn away. Why? Because waking up means letting go of what you've been taught to believe about yourself and the world. It means questioning the stories you've been told, about who you are, about what life is supposed to be. And let's be honest, that takes courage. You already feel it, don't you? That quiet voice inside you that knows there's more to life than what you see on the surface. It's been nudging you, guiding you here, to this moment. You didn't stumble on this by accident. Call it intuition, destiny, or just the truth pulling you in. It's all the same. Now you have a choice. You can ignore this and go back to the same distractions and routines, or you can act. You can take the first step to see life for what it really is. A limitless, connected flow of energy, waiting for you to shape it. The Tibetan masters didn't write this book to comfort you. They wrote it to challenge you, to wake you up, to show you that you've always had the power to transform your life, your death, and your entire reality. But here's the real question. Will you do something with this knowledge? Or will you let it slip away like so many other moments, lost to the distractions of a world built to keep you asleep? This is your wake-up call. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. Start by looking at the changes in your life, the moments of loss, fear, and challenge, and see them for what they really are. Mini-deaths, little transitions that mirror the ultimate journey. Every single one is a bardo, a chance to become a new version of yourself. The question is, will you step through the doorway, or will you cling to what's familiar and miss your chance? You can start today. Take a moment to sit quietly. Turn off the noise. Picture all your fears and attachments fading away like mist. Beneath them, you'll feel something infinite, something unshakable. That's your true self. It doesn't fear. It doesn't cling. It knows you are already free. The Tibetan masters knew this truth, and now you do too. The only question is, what are you going to do with it? The Tibetan Book of the Dead isn't just about what happens when you die. It's a guide to understanding reality itself. One of its most powerful teachings is the idea of the clear light. This isn't just a symbol. It's a real moment where your consciousness meets its purest, most unfiltered form. Think of it as a gateway, a chance to dissolve into the infinite and break free from the cycle of life and rebirth. The Tibetan masters trained for this moment with intense focus, using meditation and visualization. They believed that by practicing the clear light experience during life, they could prepare their consciousness to recognize and merge with it when the time came. You can do this too. Start your day with a simple visualization. Imagine yourself dissolving into pure light. Picture yourself letting go of everything, your name, your identity, even your body. This isn't about losing who you are. It's about rediscovering the deeper, limitless essence of yourself. Practice staying present. Treat every moment like it's your last. Pay attention to what's happening around you. without getting lost in distractions. This sharpens your awareness and prepares your mind to recognize the clear light when it appears. The clear light isn't just something for when you die, it's a key to transformation. Most people miss it because they're too attached to material things and illusions. But by practicing awareness and letting go now, you can prepare for something extraordinary. Now let's talk about the bardo of visions. This stage reveals the truth about your inner self through powerful, vivid experiences. Everything unresolved within you, your fears, hopes, and hidden emotions, shows up as symbols or archetypes. Some are peaceful, representing your highest self. Others are scary, showing your fears and shadow side. Here's the secret. Nothing in the bardo is outside of you. Every vision, every encounter is a reflection of your inner state. If you see something terrifying, it's not an enemy, it's a part of you. The Tibetan masters trained themselves to face these visions with clarity and courage, knowing that doing so would allow them to rise above their fears. You can prepare for this right now. Look at your fears in daily life. Ask yourself, what am I avoiding? What makes me uncomfortable? What emotions am I holding on to? The more you confront and deal with these now, the less power they'll have over you later. Finally, let's move to the bardo of becoming, where your karma, your past actions and intentions, shapes what comes next. Karma isn't about rewards or punishments. It's about cause and effect. The energy you've created in your life ripples forward, drawing you toward a new existence that matches the energy you've cultivated. But here's the most life-changing part. You're not powerless in this process. By choosing awareness and intention right now, you can shape your future. Start by looking at the energy you're putting out into the world. Are your actions based on fear or selfishness? Or are they guided by love, kindness, and clarity? The Tibetan masters used a simple practice to align their karma. Visualize yourself as a being of light. Picture yourself radiating love and positive energy into the world. By practicing this in life, they believed they could carry that energy into the afterlife, ensuring an elevated rebirth or escaping rebirth entirely. And that leads us to the ultimate goal: liberation. The Tibetan Book of the Dead teaches that liberation isn't just for monks or saints. It's for anyone willing to do the work. Liberation doesn't mean running away from life. It means understanding it, mastering it, and seeing it for what it really is: a temporary, ever-changing reflection of consciousness. If you want to move toward liberation, here's how to start. Meditate on impermanence. Every day, remind yourself that everything you see and hold on to is temporary. This isn't about detaching or giving up. It's about seeing life clearly. Pay attention to yourself. Watch your thoughts, actions, and decisions. Are they helping you grow, or are they keeping you stuck in old patterns? Practice compassion. Love and kindness are the highest vibrations you can embody. By choosing compassion, you elevate your energy, align your karma, and move closer to true freedom. The Tibetan masters knew these truths, and now so do you. The question is, will you take action, or will you let this moment slip away? The choice is yours. The Tibetan Book of the Dead shares an incredible truth. Time, as we know it, is just an illusion. When you die, the idea of past, present, and future disappears, collapsing into one infinite moment. In this timeless state, you can see your whole existence, not as separate pieces, but as a complete, connected whole. This isn't just some deep philosophy, it's something practical. Tibetan masters discovered that patterns and emotions from your past don't stay there. They remain alive in this timeless space, affecting your present and shaping your future. That's why working through your fears, unresolved emotions, and karmic cycles is so important. By healing these now, you can rewrite your entire timeline, breaking free from cycles of pain and limitation. How to use this time. Healing meditation. Find a quiet place to sit and imagine your life as a spiral instead of a straight line. As you mentally move inward along the spiral, let memories or emotions come up, especially ones that feel unresolved. Picture yourself healing those moments. Maybe you imagine holding them in light or changing how you respond to them. As you do this, feel the energy shift, not just in that memory, but throughout your entire being. Picture the ripple effect reaching across your life and beyond. Here's what's so powerful. Time isn't a straight line, and your growth doesn't have to be either. You're not stuck in the past, and your future isn't set in stone. The choices you make now have the power to rewrite your story, sending waves of transformation through your entire existence. One of the most misunderstood teachings in the Tibetan Book of the Dead is about quantum consciousness. Long before modern science talked about things like quantum entanglement or parallel realities, Tibetan masters described a universe where your consciousness isn't limited by your body, your life, or even your timeline. They believed everything is connected through a hidden structure of dimensions, and your awareness can go far beyond what you think is possible. This idea isn't just a metaphor, it's literal. The Tibetan masters understood that the world we see is only a projection, a filtered version of a much larger reality. At death, that filter disappears, and what's left is pure awareness. This awareness isn't tied to one place or one moment. It can move through infinite possibilities. That's why the bardos aren't just stages of dying. They're gateways to other dimensions. Here's the secret. You don't have to wait until death to tap into this awareness. Tibetan masters trained their minds to access these higher states of consciousness while they were still alive. Through meditation, they learned to focus not on their thoughts, but on the quiet space between them. This space, or void, is where infinite potential exists. What does this mean for you? It means your consciousness works like a quantum field. It's not stuck in one reality. It can shape and shift into any possibility you choose. The fears and limits you think are real are actually just probabilities shaped by your beliefs and focus. The Tibetan Book of the Dead teaches that death simply removes the physical anchor, leaving your awareness free to explore infinite potential. Here's how you can start practicing this. Quantum visualization exercise. Sit quietly and imagine your life as a set of parallel realities. In one, you're living your best life, free from fear and fully aligned with your purpose. In another, you're stuck in old patterns of doubt. Focus on the reality where you thrive. Picture yourself stepping into it and feel it as if it's already happening. Let this vision sink into your mind. Mastering the space between thoughts. Tibetan meditation teaches that the gaps between your thoughts hold infinite possibilities. Spend time sitting in stillness and notice those quiet pauses. Even a few seconds of awareness can connect you to this state of pure potential. Over time, these moments will expand, and you'll find it easier to access higher levels of consciousness. Death as a quantum leap. The Tibetan Book of the Dead explains that death is like a quantum shift, a moment where your consciousness leaves one reality and moves to another. By understanding this, you can let go of the fear of dying. Instead, you can approach it with mastery, knowing you're not tied to one existence. These teachings also reveal something amazing. The observer effect in quantum mechanics, the idea that watching something changes its behavior, applies to your consciousness too. Your awareness actively shapes your reality. The Tibetan masters understood this long before science did. By learning to observe without fear or attachment, you can begin to reshape your experience, both in your life now and in the bardos. The Tibetan Book of the Dead explains something most people overlook, the idea of frequency alignment at the moment of death. Think of your consciousness like a tuning fork, vibrating at a certain frequency based on your thoughts, emotions, and actions throughout your life. At the moment of death, this frequency determines where your awareness will go. This isn't just a mystical idea. It connects to quantum principles, which show that similar energies attract, shaping what comes next. Here's the hidden truth in the text. The universe works like an infinite field of frequencies. The energy you create during your life doesn't just shape your day-to-day experiences, it sets the course for your soul's journey after death. When your physical body stops, your vibration becomes the signal that aligns with specific levels of existence. These levels are what the Tibetan masters called realms, dimensions of consciousness that reflect the energy you carry. But here's the key. These realms aren't fixed places. They're flexible, shaped by your thoughts and the collective energy of others. Heaven, hell, or even liberation aren't physical locations. They're experiences created by your inner state. You don't go to these realms. You become them. If you want to prepare, the Tibetan masters shared two important practices for raising your frequency during life. 1. Daily vibrational calibration. Every thought and feeling you have affects your energy. To tune into higher frequencies, start each day by focusing on gratitude, love, or compassion, emotions with the highest vibrations. These not only make life better, but also prepare your consciousness to connect with higher realms after death. 2. Energy detachment. Practice attachments, whether to people, possessions, or beliefs. Pull your frequency down, keeping you tied to the lower cycles of rebirth. Take time to notice what you're holding on to and practice letting it go mentally. The more you release, the higher your vibration becomes, helping you rise beyond the denser realms. Here's something even deeper. Your consciousness doesn't just react to the world, it creates it. Science has shown that intention and observation can change physical outcomes. In the same way, the Tibetan masters taught that your awareness shapes not only your life, but also your afterlife. This leads to another major insight: the transitional self. The self you think of in life, your ego, your identity, is not permanent. After death, the ego dissolves, leaving behind a purer part of you, the clear observer. This observer is the timeless part of your consciousness that continues navigating the realms after death. The closer you connect with this pure awareness during life, the more freedom you'll have to move through higher states of existence. Want to find this observer within yourself? During meditation or quiet moments, shift your focus. Don't pay attention to your thoughts. Focus on the awareness, watching your thoughts. That quiet observer is your true self. Tibetan masters said this essence is what remains after death, guiding you through the bardos if you've nurtured it well. Finally, there's one more hidden truth in the text: the possibility of no rebirth. For those who align with the highest frequencies and let go of all attachments, the cycle of reincarnation can end. This isn't about escaping existence. It's about returning to the source of all creation, the infinite quantum field of possibilities. From this state, Tibetan masters believed you could choose to re-enter the cycle consciously or remain in a state of ultimate freedom. The question is, will you take these teachings and start raising your frequency now, or wait until it's too late? The choice is yours. One of the most overlooked but powerful ideas in the Tibetan Book of the Dead is the concept of reality layering. It explains that what we see as one single reality is actually made up of multiple overlapping dimensions. When we die, these layers start to peel apart, revealing a deeper and more complex structure of existence. This idea lines up with modern quantum theory, like the concept of superposition, where particles exist in multiple states at the same time. The Tibetan masters described it in simple terms. When your consciousness leaves your body, you no longer experience reality as a steady stream. Instead, you see multiple dimensions, some familiar, others completely new, all existing at the same time. Each of these dimensions reflects the vibrational state of your consciousness. The secret is that these layers aren't random. They are connected to your thoughts, emotions, and energy. How well you prepare during life determines how easily you can navigate these layers when the time comes. How to use this understanding. First, dimensional exploration. Exercise. Before you go to sleep, imagine peeling back the layers of reality. Visualize each layer as a curtain, with a new hidden dimension behind it. Focus on shifting your awareness to the spaces between the layers, where these dimensions overlap. With practice, this can help you start sensing beyond the material world while you're still alive. 2. Conscious energy shifting. Tibetan masters believe that your emotions determine which dimension you align with after death. Start paying attention to the emotions you feel most often. Are they based on fear, anger, or attachment? If so, make a conscious effort to shift toward higher emotions like gratitude, love, or curiosity. This doesn't just improve your day-to-day life, it also prepares you to align with higher dimensions when you die. Another fascinating insight in the text is about time collapse. While modern science struggles to explain how time can behave non-linearly, the Tibetan Book of the Dead describes it clearly. In the bardos, time doesn't move forward. Instead, it folds, allowing you to see the past, present, and future all at once. At the moment of death, this means you're not just looking back on your life, you're actively rewriting it. The Tibetan masters believed that the past isn't set in stone. It's flexible and can be changed by the consciousness observing it. If you practice this skill during life, you can begin healing karmic imbalances even before you pass on. How to start practicing. Time reconciliation. Meditation. Think of a memory that carries regret or unresolved emotions. Close your eyes and return to that moment in your mind. Now imagine yourself responding differently, with love, wisdom, or confidence. Feel the energy shift, as if the moment is being rewritten in real time. This practice helps you collapse the idea of linear time, starting the process of rewriting your karmic story now. The Tibetan Book of the Dead also talks about a hidden pathway called the Interdimensional corridor. This isn't a physical place, but an energetic bridge that connects all levels of existence. When you die, your consciousness enters this corridor, where it encounters the purest form of creation energy. Here's the key. Your intention in this phase shapes how you interact with the corridor. If you're filled with fear or confusion, you might get stuck, looping in lower vibrational states. But if you're focused and clear, you can use this pathway to manifest your next existence, or even escape the cycle of rebirth entirely. Tibetan masters emphasized that this isn't just theory, it's a core part of their teachings. How to prepare for this? Single-pointed focus practice. Train your mind to focus deeply on one thing, whether it's through meditation, art, or any activity that engages you fully. This helps your mind stay steady and clear, which is critical for navigating the interdimensional corridor after death. The Tibetan masters left us a profound truth. The reality you experience, both now and after death, is shaped by your awareness, emotions, and focus. The question is, will you start preparing now, or wait until it's too late? The choice is yours. Now that you've uncovered these hidden truths, the real question isn't if you'll face death, it's how. Will you cling to the illusions and fears that keep you small, or will you step boldly into the unknown, armed with the knowledge that you are infinite, timeless, and far more powerful than you've been led to believe? So, what will you do? If this resonates with you, if you felt the shift, share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Let's break the chains of fear and awaken as many as we can. Together, we're not just living, we're transcending. It starts now. But let's be clear, this is only the beginning. If you're not subscribed, ask yourself why. Here, we don't skim the surface. We go deeper than anyone else dares. We uncover the truths that can transform your life in ways you never imagined. This is your invitation to join the Philosophical Essence family, a community of creators, architects of reality, shaping a universe that aligns with who they truly are. Comment "Not Afraid" below, and let's step into this journey together.